What's going on, guys? It's episode 24 of Operation Premiership now with Coventry City, and I've got a little bit of a special one. As you can see, we played a Brighton game. That's because I've got a different live con for you. Thought it was a bit more important. But first of all, we'll get onto the transfers to evaluate what happened in the January transfer window. And I'm pretty sure I didn't do any business coming in. No, didn't. So it was only the outs, a couple of loans and a permanent deal. First of all, Frank Musa left for Lokeren. He's gone back to Belgium. £500,000. I thought was a good bit of business for him. He's a decent player, but he was just finding himself out of the side. There's a lot of central midfielders here, and I didn't really think he was going to get a look in. And I thought £500,000 was a good bit of business, like I said, for someone who's not going to get in the side. Lewis Rankin came back from his loan at, I think it was Barnet. Yep, and he's gone back out on loan to Stockport now. He's moved up a division to go there. And David McGoldrick, backup striker, fourth choice, not getting any games. So Leyton Orient came in for him, and I thought I'll loan him out. I've got the option to recall if I need to, because obviously should I suffer a striker crisis, I'll want him back. But I thought whilst I'm not playing him, he might as well get some first team football, and he scored 2 in 3 for them, so he's doing alright there. So that's the transfers, not much to catch you up on there. Fixtures wise, it's been pretty decent since you last saw us. Last game you saw was the Watford live com in the FA Cup. We then lost to Wigan 1-0. Disappointing result really. We played well, and then just before half time Carl Henry headed them in front, and despite pushing on in the second half and creating chances, we just weren't hitting the target, and we just couldn't score, and they went and won 1-0. Disappointing result by the lads. I wasn't happy with it. I thought 3 points should have been on board, but we're going to doing alright this season, so you have to look at that. We then played Watford at home, and in the FA Cup third round replay, and this time we had no problem scoring. Salahadin Sabay after 21, Cheryshev in the first half injury time, Joaquin Reno 3 minutes into the second half, and Ronnie Wubshet 10 minutes from time, giving us an emphatic 4-0 win at home to put us through to the fourth round. When you look at the chances we only had 9 shots and only 7 on target, and we scored 4 of them, so we were incredibly clinical on the day, and the possession says that we dominated the game as well. Watford hardly managed a shot on target, and we just kept them out of the game, which was good to see. We then played Sheffield Wednesday at home and drew 1-1. This was a really disappointing result. Even though they were in the playoff places, I just felt like we were the better side on the day, and Ronnie Wubshet gave us the lead 5 minutes before half time, but John Guidetti 10 minutes into the second half equalised for Sheffield Wednesday and gave them a share of the points. There wasn't too much after that, but I felt that up until the Sheffield Wednesday goal we could have scored 2 or 3, so I was a little bit disappointed, but 1-1 draw again against a team in the playoffs isn't going to be a bad result. We then played Barnsley at home in the FA Cup fourth round and won 1-0. It was a last minute goal from Nick Proschwitz to get us through. Kassim was missing through an injury. I started with Ronnie Wubshet up front, brought Proschwitz on, and in the last minute in stoppage time, cross came in, Proschwitz diving header into the back of the net, and deserved as well. They edged the possession, but the chances wise we were far and away better than them, double on both, which is good. And a 1-0 win, that's all you need in a cup match to get through. We then played Nottingham Forest away, and we finished off the double over them. These were third and were in absolutely amazing form when we played them. They dominated the possession, they had more chances, but we had more on target. We were just more clinical on the day than them. Christoph Testrup after 13 minutes making it 1-0. And on the turnaround of the minutes and 31, we got a penalty, and Emiliano Kassim stepped up and blasted it down the middle to make it 2-0. I've noticed that he's a bit injury prone, because he's picked up another injury now, which means he'll be missing today. They are only gashed legs and thigh strains and things, but since he came here in September, He's had 9 days out with a bruised thigh, 2 weeks with a gashed leg, 2 weeks with a thigh strain, and then currently he's out for about 2 weeks with a gashed leg again. So it's a little bit weird, but we'll see how bad he is, whether he is a real injury prone striker or not. But a 2-0 win there was really, really pleasing. The double over Nottingham Forest isn't easy to do when they're as good a side as they are. They've just come out of the Premiership, remember. And then we played Brighton at home and drew 1-1 and just couldn't beat them again. We dominated the game, really. We had far more chance than them. It was a fantastic home goal. I know you don't really get them, but Bebe smashed a 35-yard pile driver against the bar, and as it bounced back off the bar, it hit Kuszak and went in. And I thought we were going to hold on for the lead, for the win, but at the end of the game, 5 minutes from time, a scramble came about in the box. It fell at Harry Kane's feet, and he slotted it past Alex McCarthy to make it 1-1. Disappointing result, really. Had you given it me before the game, I would have taken it. After the game, I feel like we should have held on for all 3 points, but stats wise we were the better shots, but possession wise it was fairly equal. We should have won this one, but you can't win them all. But that means we are unbeaten in 5 in all competitions, which is good, and we have moved up to 20th in the table now. We're out the relegation zone, so we are on to 32 points, 4 points away from the next team. But if we can get a couple of wins together, we can get up there. I keep saying it, but we can do it. We're only a point clear of the relegation zone though, with Barnsley, Bristol City and Palace all on 31. Hartlepool seem to be getting cut adrift now, 6 points off them, but not too far away, but they do need to keep moving quickly. So I'll get to the match for today. Our live con for today is the FA Cup 5th round away at Newcastle United of the Premiership. Their side is Hansen in goal, Neutink, Angua, Tompkins and Basong at the back, Taylor, Anita, Tiote and Aitfana in midfield, with Altidore and Adriano up front. For ourselves, McCarthy in goal, Cyrus Christie, Dan, Miquel and Sabai at the back. Fleck, Davis and Nieuwedomski make up the 3-man midfield, with Reno and Bebe on the wings, and Ronnie Wubshet is the lone striker today in Kasim's absence. So let's have a quick look at there. Who's on the bench for them? It was this Adriano regen. He looks pretty decent. You'll have to keep an eye on him. Scott Dan's been absolutely instrumental in recent games, keeping teams out. So they've got Daniel Sturridge on the bench. There's no Papi Cisse, which is good. Johan Kabai's there. He's always going to be a danger man. Cruel. So we're going to have our wits about us. They're going to be decent. Especially, looks like they've got a fair bit of pace going forward. So we'll start with the start shouts. We'll play on the counter and we'll encourage them. Been on a good run lately. It's a good one. So we'll get some. We'll see more. I have faith in you. Right, so we are ready to kick off, and we aren't quite. Just up the speed and put it into 2D Classic. And now we are ready. It's Adriano back to Angua for Newcastle. Good kick off and pointless highlight. 5 minutes in. And we are 0-0. I would take a draw for definite and take a replay out of this. They're a really good side of Newcastle, but we've just come in with the idea to frustrate them and try and maybe catch a goal on the counter. Would be good. And 25 minutes in and still 0-0. This is pleasing to see us managing to contain a good Premiership side like Newcastle. And as we approach half time, nothing. And it is a goalless and highlightless first half here at St James's Park, which is a good start from the lads. I'm really pleased with that, so happy with the performance so far. Keep it up. Get back out there and hopefully we can grab a goal. Maybe get through to the last 8. There's still Shrewsbury are still in the competition at the 5th round. Rotherham are playing their 4th round replay today because their replay was postponed due to a waterlogged pitch. So they're still playing their 4th round game. So there are lower teams still left in the competition at this late stage. There's Kabai with a free kick into Basong. It's saved by McCarthy, but he's offside anyway, so it's a free kick. It's not going to make too much of a difference. Hour gone. Johan Kabai's on now. Niewiadomski's been injured. So, who did he bring on? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to leave the 3-man midfield. I'm tempted to bring Proshwitz on and push him up front, but I feel like if I go to attacking, they're just going to dominate the midfield and end up scoring. So we'll stick with that for now. We might bring Proshwitz on in about 10 minutes for Wubshet up front. Just hope it's not a serious injury for Niewiadomski. He's supposed to be the next Bastian Schweinsteiger according to the media. There's a highlight now. It's Colaccini, Kabai, Colaccini. Just bear with me 2 seconds. Sorry about that, guys. So it's Colaccini for Newcastle, Anita to Kabai, Anita again, Taylor, Adriano. 20 minutes left, and Taylor in, and Altidor's headed it over. You just feel like when they go forward, they are going to score. With a quarter of an hour to go, it's still 0-0. This is a fantastic result if we can hold on for it. We'll be in the draw for the last 8. So I'm going to bring Proshwitz on now, try and cause some trouble up front, and Testrup can come on the wings. Someone pacey, do some damage. So we put him as a target man. Team instructions. We're going to get it more direct now. Try and get it forward towards him. And I'm going to put his target man supply on. I'm going to change the shouts as well to make him launch the ball forward. And just shoot on sight, because if we're going to get a goal, we're going to need to shoot. So here we go. We'll get pump the ball into the box and shoot on sight. That should be enough. 10 minutes left. Is he going to finish 0-0? 4 minutes of injury time here at St James's. And it looks like it is Anita, Kabai, Colaccini, Anita, Kabai. In towards Adriano, he's tackled. It's Taylor, Anita, and his cross is blocked, and it is. It's a 0-0 draw here at St James's. I do apologise, lads. It's not the best to have this as a live com, but it is a massive achievement for us to get a 0-0 draw away from home against Newcastle. I think many will agree with that. So great result, and it does mean that we're still in the competition. And we're going to be in the draw for the next half. If you look at that, 7 shots and 3 on target, the possession was really equal as well. So they didn't dominate us, and they had 12 shots, but they couldn't hit the target. And Niewiadomski's strained knee ligaments between 7 weeks and 2 months. So I'll join you back for the FA Cup quarter-final draw when it comes around, guys. So lads, it is time for the FA Cup quarter-final draw. So I'll quickly go through the teams. Arsenal, who beat Tottenham in the 5th round. Birmingham or Burnley, who are playing now because Birmingham beat Rotherham in the 4th round replay, so they've got to play their 5th round tie. Brighton knocked out Shrewsbury from League One, so that's the last of any sides outside the top 2 divisions gone. Man City or West Brom after a draw at the Etihad. Man United beat Forest in the last round. Newcastle or ourselves. Swansea or Fulham, I think, play today. On the Sunday, and Swindon knocked out Aston Villa in the last round. So I would, to be honest, I'd want Swindon or Brighton, or possibly even Birmingham or Burnley. Just someone in the Championship would be good. So let's get this 6th round draw underway. first team out is Man United, and it's Brighton to play them. Birmingham or Burnley will play Arsenal. Man City or West Brom against Swansea or Fulham, which means we will be away at Swindon if we can overcome Newcastle at the Rico, and that will be it for a place in the last 4 of the FA Cup. That's a really, really good draw, that is. That's really pleasing, because Swindon, although they're in form, they are down there with us, so they're beatable, definitely beatable. So what I'll do, lads, as we've got a replay, is I'll come back in a couple of games time. So I'll play the Charlton game, and then I'll come back and I'll live com the Newcastle game and see if we can keep this cup run going. And then obviously I'll be back for the quarter final if we get there. So for now, it'll be the Newcastle live com next. So I'll see you soon, lads. If you've enjoyed the episode, please do give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and leave any comments that you want to ask me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.